Hey, welcome back to the studio, everybody. We're going to be reacting to Jonathan and Jesus. It's a new documentary that's coming out with Jonathan Remy. It's a new documentary, and let's just react to it, and then we'll discuss it afterwards.
A woman was in the back of the church crying out to him and calling him Jesus.
This is like the best day of my life.
This is just bizarre.
I love Jesus.
Playing Jesus Christ. That has to be a huge responsibility.
So this is it? This is the beginning? This is the start?
This is the start.
Okay.
Right now is the start.
My life has gotten pretty insane the last year.
The Chosen is the first multi-season series about the life of Christ.
It's also the highest crowd-funded TV project of all time.
Christianity is the largest religious audience in the world, and there's nobody that's playing Jesus at this scale.
When you're playing a really iconic character like Jesus, you feel like you have extra responsibilities.
When you look over the centuries, Jesus is depicted in every medium, and he continues to be referenced over and over again in culture.
You're telling Jesus.
I like to picture Jesus in a tuxedo t-shirt.
Jesus Christ at our dinner table.
Does anything make you feel more uncomfortable than some stranger going, I'd like to talk to you about Jesus?
He has expressed to me that he does have a desire to learn more about Jesus.
What could this carpenter from a forgotten corner of the Roman Empire possibly have to say to our world today?
I have so much to talk to you about. I am serious.
The whole Jesus Christ thing, what do you do with that?
I meet people that tell me that when they pray to Jesus, they see my eyes.
But is he the Messiah? He's not trying to be the Messiah. He's not on that trip.
It's starting to scare me. My life has always been, in some way, hiding behind the character.
You can't make everyone happy, so you do what you can.
For somebody who cares about control, the idea of surrender seems like the absolute worst outcome.
How do I not be this when I don't want to be? How do I turn it off?
Everyone is looking for three things in life: purpose, love, and connection.
It's not till you get to the end of yourself that you get to the beginning of something else.
I know it's a lot of pressure, but some people will form an opinion about God based on you.
Hey, Jesus!
What's going on?
You excited? You ready? It's an entirely life-altering experience, and I have no idea where it's going to go. But here I am.
Yeah, that's interesting. I have a lot of thoughts on this, and so I saw that this was being made. Jonathan posted it on his Instagram, and I wanted to reaction to it because there's a lot. We've talked about this briefly on the podcast before, but now they're making a documentary for it. What is your first thought?
He's in a. I like they showed Jonathan a lot here in this trailer, but they didn't give us too much of kind of what he's thinking. They give us a little bit, right? I'm more excited to wait till the documentary to see that. It's really a tough position because the whole point of the show is to portray Jesus Christ, and do it well and do it respectfully. And I think the whole thing, they mention people when people pray, they imagine his eyes.
Yeah. That's weird.
That's casting really well, because Jonathan, his face, he has like very kind eyes there. He doesn't have just his brow structure and his whole face. It's a very kind look. And when he's looking at people in the show, he looks at them with love and kindness, and he's doing an incredible job. And so it makes sense that people are going to associate that with Jesus in the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, he's been saying this since like season 1, where of The Chosen, where he has been getting this, and this is clearly not the intent Jonathan or Dallas Jenkins had intended when they started the show The Chosen. But it's just kind of happened, and it's kind of very scary because, like, I know before we've seen like the guy who played the Passion on the Passion,
Yeah, Jim
um,
Caviezel.
yeah, Jim, and other people who have kind of put themselves in that role
Mhm.
before. There's been, if you believe it or not, there's always kind of been this superstition around playing the character Jesus
Yeah.
because you kind of are like, I don't know, is it sacrilegious to
Mhm.
play this character or not?
Mhm.
And what's going to happen? I don't know Jonathan personally. I mean, clearly, but I think he probably is trying to do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten way out of hand because of how big the show has become.
Mhm.
Um, and so who
Well,
knows?
it's more than just playing Iron Man or playing Captain
Yeah.
America. This is Jesus Christ, who is a person, who was a man, who was God that
Mhm.
people worship,
Yeah.
that people, uh, on a daily basis pray to and think
Mhm.
about and, turn to with their problems. And you are, um, trying to portray him. That's,
Yeah.
and um well, he says, I don't know how to, you know, how do I be this when I don't want to, right?
Yeah.
How do I not be this, right? And I think he's not referring to being Jesus. I think
Mhm.
he's referring to being um seen as Jesus,
Yeah.
right? Or seen as um someone who loves everybody, right?
Yeah.
And while yes, Jesus was, Jesus loved everybody. Jesus wanted everybody to love each other and was kind and giving and gracious, and humans, we're not always like that. And so that's got to be tough for Jonathan.
Mhm.
People looking at him like, you're, you know, I see you when I think of Jesus, and he can't always be merciful and kind and gracious and
No.
giving, and
No.
he's gonna get angry and make mistakes and all of this stuff. So yeah, it's difficult. Um,
Yeah, he's clearly just an actor, but
mhm,
people are putting him up on this pedestal.
yeah,
People already put actors on a pedestal, but
mhm,
this is like a pedestal on top of a pedestal. So
yeah.
it's really weird.
I mean, I have one note. I think
Mhm.
if you want to do this justice, and you want to make sure that you're being careful, definitely don't answer to the name Jesus.
No.
um I mean, the name is unique, and I mean, we know that it's Joshua. Your name
Yeah.
is Joshua, so
Mhm.
that's essentially what Jesus's name was.
Mhm.
um so yeah, it's weird, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's a totally, I would say, probably a totally new phenomenon. We've had phenomenon where actors are treated kind of like
Yeah.
gods, but you know,
Well, and you do hear too in Hollywood, like, you have stalkers for like people who are
mhm,
really famous and stuff.
yeah,
Imagine what Jonathan is going through right
mhm,
now, and he still, like, has to hold up and still do 3 more seasons of The
yeah,
Chosen, and all this is coming out. I hope with this documentary, if anything, they probably will. I don't think that it's going to be a bad documentary. I hope they kind of just do 2 things with it. 1, put it back to The Chosen, like, promote The
mhm,
Chosen because I think The Chosen in itself, Dallas Jenkins has done a lot to be a ministry and kind of point towards the story of Jesus, and I think that's good. I hope they do that with this documentary. And
yeah,
then second, I hope Jonathan kind of I hope he kind of puts it out to all the fans and, like, makes it very clear, but in a good way and not
mhm,
not in a disrespectful way in
yeah.
any way.
Yeah, that he's just like, I'm just a human. I'm just an actor.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to do this role right. But it was interesting the way they end it with, he says, "Here I am."
Yeah.
Obviously referencing Samuel.
Yeah.
When God calls Samuel's name and he says, "Here I am, Lord, send me."
Yeah. Which is it. I'm curious how this documentary is going to go. And this doesn't say anything to who Jonathan is, but like I know Jonathan is Catholic. So I'm just curious how he's gonna tell this documentary. But that's our thoughts on Jonathan and Jesus. If you guys have any thoughts on this specifically, put them in the comments below and let us know what you thought of this reaction video. If you're interested in any chosen stuff, we've been talking about that a lot. That's why we wanted to react to this. So go check that out also. That's on our channel. But till next time, we will see you in the next reaction.